Hey everyone, D-Dub Squizzy here, and welcome back to Sekiro. So, I'm kind of bothered. I think the reason the frames keep dropping is because of the particle effects, right? You always have snow or rain or petals dropping or something in this game because it looks nice, and my computer can usually run it pretty well. And it does run it pretty well, while I'm playing the game. At like at least 50 or 40 frames. And the recording is always 10 to 20 behind what my computer is recording, or is performing at. It's very annoying. And unfortunately, I don't know of any fix for it, but I don't want to just stop the playthrough, especially when it comes to Sekiro. I like finishing what I start, so I'm going to keep going, but if that's a big-time deal breaker for people, I absolutely understand. Alright. So we're in the castle, and now we have actual samurai masters. They're not too bad, but they're good at fighting. Much better than the basic samurai soldiers. They're pretty much that guy at the Harada estate that helped us with Juzel the Drunkard. But while I can fight a single one of them no problem, it's the groups of them that are a hassle. I think those old women alarm people if they see you, but to tell you the truth, I'm not certain. They're just walking over to check on the castle that definitely hasn't been 100% cleared out. These guys are like apprentices, I think. Yeah, they can definitely be tricky. Alright. So in order to get in there, you have to go upwards. But before we do that, another secret area is right here. This one's a little easier to find because when you're climbing the castle, you can see there's loot in here. And if you kind of keep the spatial awareness in mind, it makes it much easier to locate. But that's another prayer bead. Actually, wait a second. I'm pretty sure there's a big coin purse in here. There is, right back here. There we go. Alright. Now we go up. I think there's some sneaky sugar in here. Yep, but that's it. And then this leads us on the other side of that door, which is usually a bit of a fight once we get in here. Let's just open this now. Okay. Retreat. Let's see if we can get him to chase us. He's one of the apprentices, but the reason you fall back is because two samurai masters are coming out. And fighting them at the same time, I've done it, but it's costly and annoying. Oh boy. They're one of the higher mid-tier enemies because of how quick their attacks can be. That one specifically. They've never been super difficult for me, but definitely tricky. Oh, there you are. Alright. So up here is progress. That's just another thing about Kuro thinking the Fountainhead. Well, not Fountainhead. They mention the rejuvenating sediments that Genichiro has used to achieve immortality. But it's a bad kind of immortality. And then Kuro says he believes that the Divine Legacy is a curse, not a blessing. Alright, before I go up there, we're heading down here. There's 3 Nightjar. They kind of make you fight all 3 of them at once. I do my best not to fight them all at once. In closed quarters, they're usually not all that bad, though. You know, loaded spear. Sure, why not? Yeah, that's how chaotic group fights get in this game. The Nightjar are another enemy about on par, I'd say, with the Samurai Masters. They're certainly not the worst, but they're pretty annoying. This here is just a lore note that kind of connects the dots to tell you that Ishin is actually the Tengu, which is pretty obvious. Mostly because they sound exactly the same. They're exactly the same height, and the Tengu and Ishin are the only ones that call you Sekiro. Which I believe is just Japanese for one-armed wolf, or something like that. Alright, up ahead we have a mini-boss. Actually, right, I'm dumb. I'm not going up there yet. Okay. So, there's a Samurai Master here, and then 3 minor Samurai soldiers. Just kill the Master, and the rest of them usually make it pretty easy to get him. Yeah. Subimaru's right here, which is one of the less essential prosthetic upgrades, but it can do pretty decently well against the Snake Eyes if they give you trouble. They certainly did the first time I played. I used it on them every time. And the Fountainhead warriors, when you actually reach the Fountainhead Palace, that thing insta-poisons them if it hits them. Which is pretty cool, but frankly, they're not really that bad. They seem a lot worse than they are. This opens, however, the last 2 gates that were locked to us. That's the front door where we killed the Samurai General. And then right back here, this is where that Shinobi Hunter's waiting. Okay. So, now we have one of the trickier mini-bosses in the game. This guy, either he'll kill you really fast or you'll kill him really fast. And it is entirely based on skill, but it feels like luck on whether it's going to go one way or the other. He uses Ashina Cross, which is a skill, over and over again. You cannot block it, at least not effectively. And occasionally he does that. Alright. That's my favorite death blow. That thing just describes to you how to deal with lightning, which is jump before it hits you and swing before you land. Was that only 3 prayer beads? I think it was. 2. I never know what that whistle's about, but I hear it every time I come up here. And here we go. This fight is the first major roadblock of the game. It determines if you have discovered how to play or not. Because either you will effectively counter everything that Genichiro does, or he'll kill you over and over. Now, I have fought Genichiro dozens and dozens of times. So this is really not a fair comparison of strength. But if this helps you get the timing down to deal with him at all, good. If you try to heal during this fight, he will do that running lunge thing at you. And he finishes that combo in this last phase of his. Ooh. I always expect him to do either a swipe or a stab. But he's actually not required to do either. Yeah, that. He'll do that if you try to heal. Which you can actually use to farm stabs if you want to. Didn't even use his lightning once. We got our first ninjutsu technique. Of course, he isn't dead, but you did force him out of the castle. Well, with that much... Of course, increase my attack power, but I think that's enough skills to pick up this. Which is very, very nice. Emma will now reveal that she's working for Ishin. And we have Kuro safe once again.
I have come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm how I will.
I can do that.
I too will thank.
The only option you can choose there is to obey him and the Iron and forsake, or no, obey the Iron Code and don't listen to him because he wants to sever his immortality and cause his own death, basically. He wants you to smell the incense burner, and you just keep talking to him after that. He'll go over to that window which you can open. There's some scrap magnetite back there, which is, it's useful.
Lord E. Howard has
So he's been researching with the library here how to sever immortality. And he has 4 ingredients, I believe, that are needed. 4 or 5. I think it's 5. He needs a tree, or a branch from a sakura tree, a stone from Mibu Village, a flower grown from the Fountainhead Waters, which is found in the Sunken Valley, the Mortal Blade, and tears from the Divine Dragon.
About
it. You are. I grant you. That. Don't. So what?
The divine
With
one.
everybody.
Where is
And he tells you, of course, the Mortal Blade can be found in Sen Pao. You don't really have to look for the Fountainhead branch. And that's just a note telling you that he's in the library. There's a window here, too, for some reason. It's really, you use it at the end of the game. It's really not helpful or important until then.
Thank you. The book.
And right here, this is important. That is a key that you need to get further once you get down into the gun fort. I don't know why it's here, but it's here.
Oh, did you?
It's
For my so
what? A
for
What is
out there and it
a
yeah.
word?
It's there's
my lord?
this it's like this
I-
good.
A place.
You-
Yes,
It's
Alright, so the stone, you're recommended to jump in the big hole. The flowers head down the sunken valley.
my lord.
could this it's a
That-
when it's
do-
that will I
If you,
I'll close.
my,
And you give
Well,
him the
it's a
Sakura
terrorist.
droplet that you get
That was
from
nice.
Lady Butterfly, and
that
now you
was
have
nice.
3 resurrections instead of 2. One of them restored by resting, 2 of them restored by killing. Now. I'm gonna go ahead and throw myself over the hole. I never really use it, because it kind of converges on a path that the Sunken Valley takes you down anyway. It's kind of weird. But there's a little bit of loot here, and there's a sculptor's idol that I like to uncover. Oh, right. I have a ninjutsu. Which is pretty cool, actually. You backstab someone, it lets you make a bunch of blood smoke. Blood smoke, which then lets you backstab someone else. It does consume lots of spirit emblems, but all ninjutsus do. There's only 3 of them. And that's the poison pool, pretty much. Or it leads right to it. Like, the poison pool is just up ahead. Yeah. Which I prefer to take from the other direction. But I always come here just to get the idol. So we're going to go to the Sunken Valley Shrine next. Normally I would recommend you go finish Sabimaru. Get it turned into a prosthetic tool if you're going to use it. Because it can swing fast and it poisons them. These things. Which aren't too bad. They have no way of deflecting, really. Or if they do, they don't use it almost ever. So you can just overwhelm them. The way forward is that way. But there's some interesting stuff this way. So this is a mass grave that you can see in the distance from, like, very early on when you're traveling through the outskirts. That's what you're really here for. Once you can dive, there's also a headless down there. So we're going to have to come back way later in the game. Killing the headless is about the last thing I do on a save, because I hate them so much, and I want to be as strong as humanly possible. Yeah, see, I don't know what the game is recording at right now, but I am playing at 60 frames a second. Like, that's what I'm seeing. It bothers me that that isn't how it consistently records, because I know my computer can do it. I think it's the software, the recording software, and I know so little about recording, I don't know what else to do about it. Ha! Getting shot out of the air does a ton of damage. Now, another secret area, or not really secret, but out of the way, with value is up here. You'll find a little camp that these things have set up. There we go. That's another gourd seed. And like a mid-tier upgrading, what do you call it? It's basically the scrap magnetite, but for gunpowder. Now I think we have some geckos up ahead. Geckos aren't very scary. They can poison you. That's it. You can also one-tap them with literally everything that you have that does damage. I'll kill you. There's one of them right here. You definitely want to kill them fast, because this guy's going to need all of your attention. He has a shotgun. Or she, actually. Lots of posture. And we'll try to use it nastily. Just keep the pressure on. Try to keep blocking and stay in its face. If you take a lot of damage killing it, that's no problem, because there's a sculptor's idol right here. But they're a lot like the cannoneers, except they can shoot way faster. This rat here pretty much gives you a cryptic warning about the gun fort, which is... it's kind of hard to tell, actually. Let me use this. That's not very helpful. All of that is the gun fort. And there's a reason he gives the warning, because it's really dangerous. Just keep a move on. Don't stop for a second. Not until you get up here. They can't shoot you right here, but they have a snake eyes waiting for you. These snake eyes are one of the most annoying mini-bosses, because they spam that stupid grab attack. And everything they have is designed to push you away or make distance between you. Like that. I hate that thing. Because it does a lot of damage. First time I fought them, it took me so freaking long to know how to deal with them. One health bar down. Oh, great. Oh, thank you. I think I once actually chucked her off the edge, too. I don't even remember how I managed that one. Gotcha. Just go straight down. Alright, so that's my 4th prayer bead. Now this is some pretty minor loot, probably not worth this much effort, but this guy is worth killing. And then jump fast, because they're reloading. Alright. He'll light you up from behind. She'll light you up from behind. Now you'll make your way along this, and there's going to be a bridge. There's a hole in it. Don't bother jumping it, just run in a straight line. Sometimes you get shot, sometimes you don't. You can also block their bullets if you're so inclined. Keep a move on. Alright, and then you chill. And just give them some time. None of them can come down here to investigate, so they'll all lose interest after a bit. They're probably still looking for me. I like that death blow. It's fun. Dang it. I don't want to just go jumping straight up, because that's how you get noticed pretty easily. You should be able to go, yeah, over here. There's a cannoneer up here, I believe. Yep. Really, it's another one of those same ones that we killed. Just yoink her on down. Now, you're going to want to be very careful. Those weird patches of rock and straw are actually like firecrackers, which won't hurt you, but they will alert everyone in a 10-mile radius that you're around. Kill this guy first. It's way too easy for him to notice you. And then bypass all of the firecrackers. Kill this one. That just leaves the one down there. There. Now you still don't want to set off the firecrackers, because there's some guys inside, and it's easier to deal with them if you have stealth on your side still. They have one of those old women who doesn't really seem to do much, who should come around this corner. Sometimes you can catch her and slit her throat with the wall. Sometimes you can't. There we go. And that just leaves 2 more of those shotgunners inside. And since there's just the 2 of them, usually you can catch one off guard and put him down. Got ya. Just you now. All of your friends are dead. Gun fort clear. Now, of course, you can do all that a lot more directly. I have. And you can use the tricky geometry to keep your enemies from being able to consistently shoot you anyway. But I think it's much more fun to just be the ghost that's flitting in and out of existence around their place, killing them all one by one. And then there should be an idol right here, so if you are losing but you can get through them, just run to this. I'm going to wait till I get 5 and then pick up the other healing skill, just because. Now this here, that centipede guy that we dropped on and killed in the Bell Demon's place, there's a lot more of them in Sanpao Temple. These are the mini-boss versions. This is a deflection and jumping fight is what it is. You basically don't do anything but just endlessly deflect his attacks. And then you have to swipe. That's it. That's all he's got. Just those 2 things. And he'll just spam both of those over and over. Bam. Don't try to attack, go on the defensive when you encounter that thing. And then that is another prosthetic tool. Some kind of divine abduction. I do not know how it works, and I'm never going to figure it out. And that's where the Gunfort key is used, which again, if you didn't notice before, is in Kuro's library after you beat Genichiro. I'm really just out here to antagonize the big snake, which you do by walking across the bridge a little bit. Here he comes. He expects you to fall, and then he sits there watching the water in case you fell in and tries to kill you. You can escape, get to the other side, which is the Sunken Valley. It takes you to the Bautista Valley part of it. But we'll take the snake out in due time. Now, under here, there's a number of different loot things. I usually don't get all of it. There's only 2 things that are of any particular value. And one of them you can do without. There's some extra divine confetti down here. Don't go that way. It's worthless. There's some extra divine confetti, but the real valuable thing is a prayer bead, and this place always turns me around. So I think you take a right from here, and you just keep going this way, kinda, until you reach it. There should be centipedes and geckos all over the place. The centipedes are way more dangerous than the geckos are. Alright, so that's the prayer bead. That's the big one. Don't go down there. I think just going in this direction. Okay, this takes us back to the idol. So I think that there was one more direction. I don't feel like exploring it more because I hate it down there. There is some divine confetti, but I got another prayer bead. Now. So you can't really get further in here. I mean, technically you can, but my preference is to then go to Senpou, because you can kill the snake once you finish this area. You get a reward that lets you come up from above it and deathblow it, which there is an achievement for. So this guy is one of the ones who you can get to go to the doctor, and he'll die. He wants a pure white flower, he says. There's a bunch of pinwheels at different areas in this place. Some are red and white. One is pure white. The pure white one precedes his quest, which just gets you some kind of weird persimmon at the end. I never understood its point. It was very confusing. The red and white lets you send him to either Anayama, the peddler, to finish it, to complete everything you can do for his quest, so his shop gets to its fullest potential. Or you can send him to the doctor, where he will die. You know, I probably shouldn't start exploring this in this episode, but I didn't go back to the doctor after sending Jinzaemon over there, so I should do that. Just so I can move his questline along a little more. Very weird questline. As I understand it, he's trying to reproduce the red eyes. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm dumb. Okay, we'll run over to it. Not here to fight with zombies.
My dear,
Got some fat wax.
it's about you, my...
And this is the really annoying part about his quest, is it has a lot of rests in it. And now he gives you the other part of the quest, which involves getting some red eyes from a particular carp that's in the waters under Mibu Village, which you can't reach yet. And yeah, his experiment has not gotten up and killed all those soldiers, so we can't finish it off yet. I don't know exactly when that happens. To tell you the truth, I don't do his quest very often because it's not super rewarding. It's very weird. I usually just kill him when I find him. Alright, so we're gonna go to Kuro's room, because I have a gourd seed. Then we'll head down to the sculpture and get the last of the prosthetic tools put on it. It's not really the last of them. There's one more. I think there's just one more.
So
Yeah, what
I did that. I'm the one. I'm did you add? I come. I will. Goodbye.
As far as the giving drink thing, you can do that with her, the sculptor, and Ishin, and it just is more lore. There's like 4 kinds of 4 different drinks.
I will. Afraid of your help.
A place. I've
You-
there and all she. Yeah,
It's. Did you?
I did not.
I said it.
He brings up this. And that's how you know you need a Sakura tree. But there are none, they're all dead.
My lord,
You-
made us all.
Oh, what you never.
And then you can ask Emma about it.
There is.
Yeah,
this-
it is. Yeah, there with them. Goodbye.
And she tells you someone cut a branch off to try and achieve immortality. So they cut a branch off the tree, and in so doing killed the entire tree because they're weird divine trees.
I-
How it is.
What? Let it.
Uh,
Kuro's response is, well, we can't get to it then. In all honesty, you don't actually need all the things that he wants to sever immortality. You need the Mortal Blade to do that, and you need the Divine Dragon's Tears, and I believe you need the Sakura tree thing. Or no, you don't need that. You need a Sakura flower to do a specific type of severance. You just need a branch and the stone and the flower to make the incense, which lets you get to the place where you can get the dragon tear. So, like, you basically need it, but you don't really need it specifically, is the best way to put it.
Oh, the different you. It. What?
No. Another house.
Yeah, so Divine Abduction, I don't really know how it works. I've used it like once, and that's just because when you're doing the Big Taro's quest line, just make sure I didn't drop anything up there. When you're doing the Taro's quest line, you have to use Divine Abduction to send him away where he wants to go.
Hey.
But I still don't know how it works. If you're so inclined, you can buy coin purses, because then you won't lose the money when you die. That's the real value in them. The issue is, it's a 10 coin tax for every 100 that you put into a sack. Eventually, that tax is negated. If you follow on Ayama's quest the whole way through, you can buy those at no real cost to yourself. And it's pretty cool. On the PlayStation, where I have my most successful save file, I have like over 100 grand just in coins that are lying around. and at least 300 grand, I would say, in coin purses, because of how many times I played the game over, and I just saved all of them and bought as many as I could get my hands on. And I just kept getting more. And so, yeah, you can amass quite a fortune. Money is only a big deal in the early game. And, of course, my first time through it was much tighter, because I was dying all the time, and there's no way to save it, really. And I was kind of stupid, and I used all the coin purses as I found them, because I was like, why not? I saw them like souls, or bloodstains. Or not bloodstains, cold blood in Bloodborne. And those big souls that you destroy in Dark Souls to amass a bunch of extra souls, or the golden runes that are in Elden Ring. Except while those ones are, you find them, and that's just to give you a little bit of extra reward, you can buy the coin purses. Because there is no way to recover what you lose on death in this game, which is a change. Alright, well, enough of my rambling. I'm going to end this episode here then. Next one we'll be picking up, hopefully completing all of Senpou Temple, but it's a pretty big place. So it might take us more than that. But either way, we'll be continuing on then. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.